Going live, going live. We're just going to do it straight into the microphone on the computer. Good morning, everybody. Jenny Van West coming to you live from the Postcards Studio. We're hanging out with my little pal Francine here. It's my tree with the crazy lights on it. Let's do it. All right. I'm going to let a couple people shine in here. Shining in from all around the place. We got a great show today. I'm really excited about this. All about thanks and encouragement, which y'all have been giving me in spades the last couple of days when I had a little falling out inside of myself. I just needed to hear stories of encouragement, difficulties that people have been through, and just remember that we're all in this together. All right, so let's do this. Starting out in that key of B flat, when you're down and you're blue, and you don't know what to do, just write a postcard. When you're feeling fine and there's something on your mind, just write a postcard. Don't you know Grandma loves this show? She listens every time she wrote a letter. You don't need a reason. You don't need a rhyme to write a postcard to P.O. Box 12522. Just write a postcard. 04098. Just, oh my God. Postcard. 224 Anderson Street, just write a postcard. I'm never going to get it, am I? Just write a postcard to 224 Anderson Street, just write a postcard. 04101, just write a postcard. To Portland, Maine, 'cause Grandma loves this show. Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Postcards. I'm your host, Jenny Van West. I'm just putting my little guitar down over there. And how's everybody doing this morning? Coming to you live in the Postcards Studio. We're still 70 and sunny. Today is no different. It's my little tree, Francine. She's got some crazy lights on her. She came from the bargain rack down at Broadway Gardens, because you know I love a good steal and deal. And this is my this week's steal and deal right here. Anyway, had a really interesting couple of days. You know, sometimes despite ourselves, we end up feeling discouraged about something. And this week, I had a little bit of that going on, and so I'm going to be reading you some comments that people left for me that really are just about, you know, stepping through those times when it feels like, you know, for whatever reason, we feel discouraged. And this time of year is really tough for some people. And I love the holidays, but I also know that sometimes there's vulnerability that opens up during this time. And so I wanna do a little, and I'm flying without my regular mic. So I appreciate your patience with that. We've got Charlotte the accordion in here today. We got a whole mess of comments from people, and you can write to us over the holidays, should you so desire. Postcards, care of Jenny Van West Music, 224 Anderson Street, Portland, Maine, 04101. And good morning. And I'm so glad that you all are here. So you know, one of the things that I was reminded of the last couple of days is that, you know, sometimes you got to show the soft side of things and the more difficult side of things. And I'm a great enthusiast for others, and also for the things that I do. I know how to do that. And sometimes, for whatever reason, you know, we get into that place of discouragement. I know I've been talking about this for the last 5 minutes. So I want to read you some of the comments today that people left for me, because they really are not about me. They're really about these amazing humans that are in our world all around us, who are going through things and experiencing things, and might seem like they're doing perfect on the surface, and then maybe under the surface there's a little more complication to things. So I'm gonna launch right into it. We got a bunch of songs too, but I want to start reading some of these comments. And to be clear, nothing terrible is going on in my life. It's just more about thinking things should work out a certain way, and then they don't. And sometimes that can just come at a moment that feels particularly challenging. Okay. I'm not going to share names because I don't know how any of folks on my page feel about having their names shared, but I'm going to just read the words that have been shared by some people. Okay, this one came in from a colleague of mine. I've been there and I'm sending you a big virtual hug. I got so frustrated that I put the job search on hold because I couldn't take it any longer and did some volunteer work to re-energize myself. That led to where I am today. The struggle is real, but each rejection is bringing you one step closer to your dream job. And so I really want to thank the writer of that. It's great. This was I'm reading another one. I thought this was really interesting, and I have to say, every single one of these comments has been really felt incredibly supportive of me personally. But I think also I can see that other people are reading them, and that always makes me glad. Like when other people are encouraged, when we reach out and ask for help, ask for support, ask for words of encouragement, that others are simultaneously encouraged by that. So this one I thought was really interesting. You may be on the cusp of a breakthrough. Or let me put this more succinctly. You may be on the cusp of breakthrough. Don't give up. You've worked tirelessly and have given of yourself to so many others. I've auditioned for a number of roles over the past few years and felt really frustrated until this past August when a film role fell from the sky. It opened the door for other possibilities. And so that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Like just being reminded, like, no matter how we're doing things, introvert, extrovert, big, broad swaths of connecting with people all over the place, or doing things small at home or in our communities, in our neighborhoods, we can all experience this thing. So here's from one more I'll read, and then I'm gonna play y'all a song and do a station ID. This is from an old friend of mine back out west. I got you, Jenny. Prevailed a few times somehow. On the job, I spent many days thinking I couldn't hold up. Finally, it was a bit easier, but then I retired. All is well. Take care. Appreciate that, my friend. And last one. Okay. My beekeeping teacher. And I had to stop and think for a second. There's a thing, a beekeeping teacher. Those people exist. My beekeeping teacher, upon my asking if a thing I wanted to do was hard, said, everything worth doing is hard. I've gone back to that simple truth many times over. So I'll be reading a few more of these comments this morning. Really glad to be with you. Let's see who's around. How many people can I say hello to? Good morning, Rexy. It's really nice to see you here. And Doug Colmar, thank you so much. Looking forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks. Reminders are necessary. And so I'm gonna play a song that I wrote a while back, and that has nothing to do with anything except it's timely. It's this time of year. Let's see if I can find a pick for myself. And if I can, I'll just play it anyway. One of the things that I think is important to remember is that, and good morning, Rebecca, old friend. Thanks for checking in. Nice to see you here. Checking in from Chicago land area. Yay. So anyway, I'm just going to play this one. I've been swimming in the deep end of the pool the last couple days, and part of what y'all have helped me to do is send me a little floaty, send me a little floaty or some swim chips or a pool noodle or something. And we've been, hanging out, creating some levity. So this is what this song is all about. This goes out to my friends in Kansas City. I got $27 and a golden diamond watch from a pretty boy in Kansas City. Says he loves me very much. He got the 16 boots and red coats, and we're running out of time. Leaving Kansas City, all mine. Borrow bank or steal. I went down to the bank to help my poor friend Kitty, cause she's sitting in the tank. And they said, now darling, your collateral's not so high. I reached into my pocket and I showed him what I got. I got $27 and a golden diamond watch from a pretty boy in Kansas City. He says he loved me just a little too much. He got the snakeskin boots and we're in cahoots and we're running out of time. Leaving Kansas City, all mine. To borrow babe on steel, I went down to the bank to help my poor friend Kitty, cause she's sitting in the tank. And they said, now darling, your collateral's not so hot. I reached into my pocket and I showed him what I got. I got $27 and a golden diamond watch from a pretty boy in Kansas City. He says he loved me just a little too much. He got the 6-skin food tamarind roots and we're running out of time. Live in Kansas City, all my mind. I see. So when I'm feeling blue and I want a real good time, I head for Kansas City, cause he loves me all the time. I'm paid a light bill, we'll be dancing by the moon. It is great, but she's gotta wait till we'll be there real soon. With our $27 and a golden diamond watch, a pretty boy in Kansas City says he loved me just a little too much. He got the 6-skin boots and we're running out of time. Leaving Kansas City, on my mind. Yeah, we're leaving Kansas City, on my mind. All right. Jenny Van West coming to you live from the Postcards Studio. We're hanging out with my little pal Francine, and she's the steal and deal of the week. A couple needles falling off, but otherwise, she came off the bargain rack down at Broadway Gardens here in South Portland, and they always have a fabulous collection of trees. And this year is no different. They have this little lady sitting in the bargain rack, so here she came home with us, perfect for postcards. So anyway, thank you, Francine. I've got the craziest looking lights on this thing today. So if you're just joining us, Postcards coming to you live in the Postcards Studio, where we're hanging out in the Christmas tree annex. We had a nice little moment last night lighting some Hanukkah candles. Happy Hanukkah to all of you all who celebrate Hanukkah, and all the wonderful holidays that you might celebrate. I'm feeling better already. I tell you what, this show has really meant a lot to me this year, and I want to highlight a few of the things that happened this year that and I wish I had a highlights roll, but I'm just going to tell you about it. We had some fabulous guests on the show this year, and I do want to take a minute right now to talk to you about that, because we're in Steals and Deals area, but we got our steal and deal right here. It's Francine. Isn't she awesome? All right, so I'm going to talk a little bit about and say thank you to a bunch of people who were on the show this spring, last winter and spring, 2022, starting at the top. First of all, I want to say another big thank you to, as I often have done, to Emily Hansen for booking our guests last winter and spring. We spent about a year working on the show together, and she really knocked it out of the park. I really want to say thank you to Emily over at Magnolia Roads. So January of this year, we had a visit from Kenny Raskin on the 6th. 13th of January, Gus Rodriguez, my dear friend, booking maven, talent buyer extraordinaire down in New York City. Really want to say thank you, and a wonderful performer. Sorry, I'm tripping over my words. We had a fabulous time back in January. Gus Rodriguez, I really appreciate you being on the show. Let's see. Going down, we had the 20th of January this year. We had Diggy Cat, Ayla Faye, Lucky Lamont, Rory Kelly. We had a fabulous time with a bunch of them on the show. 27th of January, we had a Magnolia Roads extravaganza with Ginger Cowgirl, aka Stacey Antonell, Emily Hansen, and Penny Jo Pullis from Tex Chromosome, who's been both of you have been big supporters. February 3rd, Side Pony, Alice Wallace and Caitlin Cannon knocking it out of the park. February 10th, we had what I suspect will be at least an annual kind of event. We had a house concert panel. We had wonderful folks coming and joining us. We had Jeff Hollis down at Hollis House Concerts in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Cozy House Concerts, Linda Bolton from New Jersey. We had Rawhide House Concerts, Leslie Cash Job. Was wonderful to have you here. Rawhide House Concerts in Austin, Texas. And Darius out in Phoenix, Desert Valley House Concerts. That was really fun. 17th of February, Huge Ruffalo was here. I met Huge through my producer, Shane Alexander. Eugene, it was great to have you on the show. The Hawthorns came in on the 24th of February, and Wood Willow from Oklahoma, March the 3rd. We had Joel and Becca from Oklahoma City. And just backing up, February 24th, KP Hawthorne and Johnny Hawthorne, they had a new album that came out on the 25th of February of this year, and it's really good. Then in the middle of March, and we're going to pause with this and do another station ID and a break and stuff like that. And a song. And read some comments. Woohoo! Middle of March last year, I had a first for me experience. I had the privilege and honor and joy and hard work, and it's still not quite finished because I got a couple more interviews to wrap up and edit. Went to South by Southwest to broadcast from there with Postcards, and that was really a blast. Huge support from Penny Jo Polis at Tex Chromosome and her husband Jason, who's a fantastic luthier and a longtime employee of South by Southwest. We had a great time, and Emily Hansen, who did the booking for that event that I covered. It was an incredible experience, and I'm still actually kind of processing that. So, boy, we got off to it's great to review this stuff because, we can all forget that, like, sometimes what goes on the outside doesn't match what we're feeling. And you know what? That's the time to reach out and talk to people and just, be encouraged. Be encouraged. So let's see. I want to take a sip of this coffee and say, you're listening to Postcards. If you're just joining us, I'm Jenny Van West, coming to you live without my soundboard today. But you know what? It looks like the internet's working. And you can write to us, P.O. Box. Oh my God. It's going to be endless. Postcards Care. I'm going to practice this between now and the time that winter season starts, which, by the way, I already have on a banner, which is going to start on or around Monday, February 6th, 2023, 11 a.m. Eastern. We'll be coming back to you with the winter 2023 season of Postcards. It'll be our third winter season. How about that? We've been doing this for a minute. And you can write to us, 224 Anderson Street, Portland, Maine, 04101. And you know what? It's going to be more of the goodness. I got some guests in mind for this winter. Taking a little break from doing interviews this fall, and I dearly am missing it. I'm missing it. So we need to get back to that. Let's play another song, shall we? And if you're just looking for steals and deals, I want you to know that the steal and deal of the week is this amazing little tree that I got down at Broadway Gardens in South Portland. It's my favorite place to shop for a tree. They have a bazillion trees, and they never run out, okay? So if you're in the Portland area and you're worried about running out of trees, go down to Broadway Gardens. They still got some beauties for you. This one came off the bargain rack, so of course it was perfect for the Postcards show. So anyway, this is Francine, my little tree with the crazy lights on it. All right, so I decided to play this one because it's timely and it's funny, and I need some levity in my world. And I just want to say how much y'all have been rocking my world this week with your great comments. And little support goes a long way, but I've had a lot of support from y'all, and so I'm going to be reading some more of that in the next few minutes. But this one is a special song to me. I wrote it a couple years ago. I was down visiting my in-laws in Rhode Island, and sometime I'll tell you the whole story, but right now I'm just going to sing the song. It's called Squirrel Gang. I'm gonna tell you a little story about an old beech tree, as high as the sky and wide as the sea. Home to the birds and home to the bees, and home to the little guys who steal the bird seed. Squirrel Gang. Squirrel Gang. Well, the toughest little dude was Rocco Jones. Loved to hang upside down and chew marrow bones and tell a white tale of old Lady Blue, who shot off his tail with her 22. Now Rocco, he'd been working that gig for so long he could climb a grease pole without nothing on. When he got through, go for a ride on his little bitty motorcycle dressed in rawhide. Squirrel Gang. Squirrel Gang. Now Rocco didn't like to see his people maligned. He was tired of the way the lady treated his kind. So he called together his council of 10 and said it's time to make a difference for the little furry man. He said we might not be pretty, we might not sing, we might not have the couth manner of a cedar wax swing. We've got a right to eat our fill and live like kings, and you know we will. Squirrel gang, squirrel gang. So the very next morning, about 8:30, 11 little heads were peeking over the gate. Their little sunglasses shone in the dawn. They revved up their engines and they drove across the lawn. The old lady Blue was drinking her tea. She looked out the window and what did she see? There was no time to shoot, no time to plea. It was the bird feeder heist of the century. Squirrel gang, squirrel gang. Old lady Blue, she ranted and raved. She gripped her chest, but she could not be saved. Some say it was fright, some say surprise, but we know Rocco and the gang were her demise. Squirrel gang, squirrel gang. So now you've heard the story about Rocco Jones and the old beech tree that he called home, who took up the cause of those little furry men. And they never, ever, ever went hungry again. Squirrel Gang. Now you've heard it. Now you've heard it. The song, the legend, Squirrel Gang. Never before recorded, but I think it needs to go on a 45, which is maybe I'll play that later. If you're just joining us, Postcards coming to you live from the Postcards Studio. We're totally 70 and sunny, and right now we have Francine. She's the bargain rack beauty from Broadway Gardens down in South Portland. Not even a sponsor. I'm just saying. Shout out to y'all at Broadway Gardens. Those folks work hard all times of year, and this time of year is no different. They bring you the best trees. So, if you just want to know what's up, you can write to us, 224 Anderson Street, Box 1. If you're missing the P.O. Box, and I feel like that's important. 224 Anderson Street, Box 1, Portland, Maine 04101. I did get some mail this week, and then I left it across town. I woke up this morning and realized it was across town. And as some of you know, I'm slowly kind of inching towards the other studio. This is kind of in the right direction. And just want to say happy holidays to y'all. I'm going to read some comments that I reached out for some support this weekend, and I was rewarded spades, and I think a lot of other people gained something from it, which is my favorite kind of support, is when we can ask for support and then we feel held, we get the kind of, feedback that we need, the reminders that we need to just like hang in there. It's going to feel different tomorrow. It's going to feel different tomorrow. So I think the support really is to be shared, because I feel like a lot of these comments just are people showing their strength and love for one another. So I want to read you a couple comments. I'm going to leave the names out because I haven't asked permission to share these bits with people, but you can look on my page and see it. This one, all of these comments really have held me. I'm going to be going back to them and just really absorb what you're saying and let it in. And I've been doing that, and I'm going to continue to do that. So this is from a good friend of mine here in town. First, I love you, and I'm so grateful we've become friends. Also, the high point of Erin's week is teaching with you. Keep going. I'm absolutely convinced you will find the support you need to continue this work. And I just want to say, spoken from someone I know understands what it means to keep going. Thank you. And I want to read this one from someone that I don't know that we've had the opportunity to meet. Spent 18 years in Seattle carving out a niche for myself. An artist's life is always a challenge. One theme that kept happening was when I'd audition for something I thought I wanted terribly badly and didn't get. Something even better came after I wasn't cast. I'd be brokenhearted, and then weeks later, a better part would come my way. It just solidified the understanding to trust your talent. Wise words. Thank you, my friend. Okay, this is from another friend of mine locally. I could tell you about all the online dates that were big fails, or the time I sent out dozens of resumes and received 0 responses, only to triple check my resume and realize the first bold word, objective, I had accidentally spelled objection. That's an awesome one. Let's see. This is from a friend of mine that I knew back in college and haven't seen in a very long time, but we've kind of kept tabs on each other, and I really appreciate this comment. Jenny, I've been there many times. I know it's hard to keep the motivation, but keep at it. The breakthrough will come, probably when you least expect it, and possibly in a form you hadn't anticipated. As I look back on my life, I realized that every time I thought I was being rejected from something good, I was actually being redirected to something better. And that's a quote from Dr. Steve Maraboli. And the next is a quote from Lee Mitchell Hodges. Failure is often that early morning hour of darkness which precedes the dawning of the day of success. That's really powerful. And then I want to read this little bit of poetry from someone who I don't think I've had the opportunity to meet in person. Upon a wisp blunders inspiration, hard won but suspiciously ephemeral. Let it lead, ? Thought that was very interesting. Okay, and then I'm gonna read this one, and then we're gonna do, it's almost time to read the mail, which is, we got a letter from Grandma. So let me read this one to you. Postcards coming to you live from the Postcards Studio here in Portland, Maine. I'm hanging out here with my pal Francine. Bargain basement tree, steal and deal of the week is this beautiful tree with the crazy lights on it, Jenny Van West, and I'm happy to have you here with me. Let me read one more comment from the many encouraging comments I had on my page this week. I have, and I'm not sharing names just in case you're just joining us. I have always seemed to have had too much on my plate. I can relate to that. And I have constantly, especially now with a major solo house rebuild, felt I wasn't getting enough done, but I have found a way to lessen that overwhelming feeling. Instead of focusing on what you haven't been able to accomplish, think about all you have accomplished. And I really appreciate that. It's basic wisdom, but it has been really helpful. You all have been helping me a lot with that this week. Your musicianship alone is an incredible accomplishment. Thank you. Something most musicians would certainly envy. Thank you. Thank you. As far as rejection goes, it happens to the best of us all the time. Some of the biggest successes have been through it. Many times it just took hanging in there to have that break come through. And of course, for most of us, that break never does come through. But that's not the only reason we do what we do. I'm sure you fully understand all this and just feel frustrated at the moment. It will pass, I'm sure. There's nothing wrong with hurting when you've been hurt. It's part of what helps you heal. Best of luck, my friend. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. And again, I'm just reading, all of these comments have been incredibly helpful. And just want to say thank you to everybody who's taken the time to share a couple words. And I want to say thank you to that deeper part of myself that said, now's the time to reach out and say, you know what, now's the time. I need some builders, builders and breakers. We used to talk about that when our kids were younger. And, builders being things that build us up, breakers being things that feel like they tear us down. And, and sometimes we lose our perspective. It happens to all of us. So I'm feeling much encouraged. And that's why this theme today is thanks and encouragement. So before we read a letter from Grandma, I know it is time to read the letter, and we do have something from Grandma, so I want you to be very encouraged about that. I want to read a couple more, just a few more lists from the list of people who are on the show this year. So we talked about South by Southwest, which was I've been to before, but was kind of life-changing this year, being able to bring postcards down there. And like I said, I've still got a couple of interviews to parse, and one of them with my new friend Red Young has been 9 months in the making, and I'm still working on it. So Red, don't give up. By the time I get to South by this year and come visit you, we'll be almost done. So in April 7th, we had Ruby Dice coming in live from Texas. That was really a treat. I had never met her before, and that was really wonderful. April 14th, I had a fabulous conversation with a very old colleague of mine, Gary Lemons. We talked poetry and lyric, something I want to revisit and go back to. So thank you, Gary. April 21st, we had Mandy Rowden from Girl Guitar. That was amazing, talking to you about your work and listening to you sing. Your work, wonderful work you do down in Austin, much inspired. April 28th, we had Hoedown from the 5 spot. Let's see. Actually, we did. I'm trying to remember how exactly that all went down. Let's see. And then May the 19th, Elsa Cross. First got a chance to hear her live at South by Southwest this spring. And she came on the show, and we had a wonderful time together. And May 26th, capping off our spring 2022 season, was Blue Sky, a new artist that came to us through the Horizon Foundation, uplifting women's voices. And that was just great, fabulous time. We had a great time together. And so thank you to all these guests. And let's take a look and see if we've got any comments that we want to say hey howdy to anybody. Leave a comment, leave a like or a comment so I know you're here. I want to confess something before I read this letter from Grandma. Today, amazingly, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull this show together. I've just been feeling, kind of behind the curve. And lo and behold, I got it all together and got it started. And then I realized as soon as I got it live and started that I had forgotten to set up my soundboard. So here's to imperfection. And of course, acknowledging once again our wonderful tree here. This is Francine with her crazy lights, bargain basement, Christmas tree. So let's see. So we did get a letter from Grandma. So I don't know if any of the Grandma fans are listening right now, but I want to read this too. So this is dated December 12th, 2022, which was last Monday. It says, week before Christmas. Dear grandchildren, please forgive my poetry. I majored in animal husbandry and fiber arts at the University of West Moldova. Didn't know that was a place. And have not written many poems. All right. Okay, well, let's see what you got, Grandma. 'Twas the week before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a guitar string in the Postcards Studio. Well, Grandma, you're onto the blank verse thing. The neighbors were gathered round the wireless radio in hopes that our favorite show might come through from the Postcards Studio. Okay, there we go. When what to our wondering ears should appear but the buzzing to life of our very favorite Monday steals and deals? And what should emerge from a big old school case box but the joyful and dulcet tones of the accordion Charlotte? With Judith and Diggy in chat room divine, we all get the feels of this very special time. With a song in our hearts and a postcard in hand, to all happy holidays and a new year most grand. Love, Grandma. Oh, take care of one another. Love, Grandma. So there's a message from Grandma. Thank you, Grandma, for writing in. It's always good. She was on the show a while back. There's a thank you to Grandma for writing to us all this year, keeping our spirits up, telling us what's going on in North Moldova. Thank you to Grandma. And I want to say, thank you to all our postcard writers this year. I don't have a comprehensive list in front of me, but we had some great postcards this year to share on the show. And you can write to us anytime and we'll share it. It's a chance to write in now. Tell us what you're up to for the new year. What are your hopes and dreams for the new year? JVW Music, 224 Anderson Street, Portland, Maine, 04101. Would love to hear from you. Yeah, Grandma, did you hear your name in there, Judith? You were just mentioned in the poem. I've got a couple, speaking of Judith, I'm just going to say a word about Judith and Diggy, who've been hanging out in the chat room. Thank you so much for keeping things going there in the chat room and always being supporters and boosters of what we're doing here on Postcards. It's a funny little calling in life that I have, and I do so love it. So thank you. Thank you, my friends. Chat room people. Got to thank you, chat room people. Oh, you just got here? All right, Judith. Okay, y'all. Judith, I'm going to read you this poem again. This is a letter from Grandma. If you just missed this, all right, I'm going to read the whole thing again. Week before Christmas, December 12th, 2022. This is from Grandma. Dear grandchildren, please forgive my poetry. I majored in animal husbandry and fiber arts at the University of West Moldova and have not written many poems. 'Twas the week before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a guitar string in the Postcards Studio. The neighbors were gathered round the wireless radio in hopes that our favorite show might come through from the Postcards Studio. When what to our wondering ears should appear but the buzzing to life of our very favorite Monday steals and deals? And what should emerge from a big old school case box but the joyful and dulcet tones of the accordion Charlotte, who shall make an appearance shortly. With Judith and Diggy in chat room divine, we all get the feels of this very special time. With a song in our hearts and a postcard in hand, to all happy holidays and a new year most grand. Take care of one another. Love, Grandma. So there you go. You have been immortalized in the words of Grandma. And oh, hey, thanks, Diana. Appreciate it. Nice to see you here. I dedicated a song to my pals in Kansas City earlier, and you can probably guess which song it was. So just roll it back to the beginning of the show, and you're going to hear that. So today's theme, thanks and encouragement. I've been reading some lists of people who've been on the show this year, reading some comments that have been coming in this weekend, words of encouragement to myself, but also broadly encouraging to others. And I'm going to read a couple more of those right now. I'm not sharing names because it's, I don't know. I'm not at liberty to share the names. So, but I do want to thank everybody for writing it, because all these comments have been really helpful. I've been letting them in. Okay, so here's another from a longtime colleague of mine I haven't seen in a while, actually, in Maine. It says, allow yourself some weepy time, then square your shoulders and get back in the game. That is great advice. You're amazing and so multi-talented. The right thing is going to come along for you, and you'll think, wow, thank God I didn't end up with that other thing. Persevere, you have many gifts. I love that advice. Allow yourself some weepy time, then square your shoulders and get back in the game. Might not work for everybody, but that's typically my approach. And, when I've had disappointments this year, one of the things that I've learned is that if I give myself the time to feel a little sorry for myself and be disappointed, like actually allow myself to feel it, if I give myself time, it usually takes about 2-3 hours, and then I can square my shoulders and get back in the game. And what happened Saturday, I was like, it's just not coming. I don't feel it. I'm not having it. All I'm feeling is this sinking disappointment. And so these are the comments that came in from reaching out for some encouragement. Okay. Okay, so this is from another alert reader. Reading all the encouragement has me almost a bit teary. I do hope someone from the Maine philanthropy community also reads this all, because the problem is so systemic. We need funding models that flow more quickly and easily and toward people doing great work who don't have time to spend a zillion hours cultivating donors. This has also been such an incredibly hard couple of years, and some time for sadness and grieving and resting feels part and parcel of being human. I hope the love in all these comments encircles you and you get a bit of a breather before considering the next step. Okay, brilliant. Brilliant. This is really, really on point. So from another artist who's been there, done that, Jenny, your badge of the bone. Thanks, girl. As an artist, I want to say, rest, cry, nurture yourself so you can return to the work in time. As a nonprofit startup fundraising person, holler at me if you'd like support listening on that topic. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. Another comment, have you ever read The Alchemist? It always helps me find patience when things aren't working out. You have incredible talent and passion. Can't wait for the moment the stars align for you. I'll be cheering you on. Thank you. And this is from someone who does this on a daily basis for people all over the place. Okay, here from another artist I have a lot of respect for. Oh man, I feel you on this one on so many levels. You're doing such big, important work. Rejection is probably the hardest part of the creative life for me. While I'm happy to tell you many stories of rejection, I'd rather share with you how impressed and inspired by you I am. Thank you. Keep going. What you're doing matters so much. You know what? Okay, so last one I'm going to read. This is from somebody who's done a lot of stuff in the community, has been a great supporter of mine for a long time, and a lot of other people. Dear Jenny, my late husband struggled with his writing. He was an excellent psychiatrist, but always wanted to do more searching in all kinds of ways. He received many rejections, but did well with his work as a physician. He needed to work for money. The question of money can overpower the question of self-fulfillment, and balance is needed. We found a way through that. So here's my question for you. If you were able to continue on your current path, do you want to do that, or would you rather be doing something else? If there's nothing you'd rather be doing, please continue your work. It's good for our community. If you're exhausted and the work no longer sustains you, think about what you might want to do next with your lovely, talented, creative, and energetic self. Thank you very much. And if I could respond to that one just a little bit, to say that it's something in between, you know? And so anyway, I hope some of these words of encouragement that flowed freely towards me this week are helping you as well. Yes. Love you, Grandma. Grandma loves you back. Started the Heartland Song Network during the pandemic. You can call or we can Zoom anytime to brainstorm. Diana, thank you. I will take you up on that. And, you know, I think reaching out with both hands, sometimes we have to let go of something in order to receive. There it is. Okay, let's play a song. Thank you all so much for these lovely comments. If you're just joining us, Postcards, you can write to us, 224 Anderson Street, Portland, Maine, 04101. And I'm saying thanks and reading some things of encouragement. And if you are interested in this show, write us a postcard and mark your calendars. On or around Monday, February 6th, 2023, 11 o'clock Eastern Time will be our starting point. And what typically happens is I try and give myself enough time to catch up with myself, take a little breather and remember why I do this, which I typically remember every single Monday, but also give myself some time with family and so forth. And I just want to say thanks to all my listeners this year. We've been doing this since November of 2020. We just celebrated 2 years on the air, and you all have been with me during all of that time. Some of you checking in once in a while, some of you with me every week. And, you know, we're in it together, in it to win it. And Judith, I want to say thank you for your words of encouragement this week. You've got a tale to tell, and I appreciate you sharing it. And you're a tough lady and a talented lady, and I love you for it. And thank you for that. So let's play a song. So I got the perfect one. I only get to play this at one time of year. All right. And last couple of years, we've been talking about breaking up Christmas, and I haven't been talking about that this year. But breaking up Christmas is January 6th. It's Epiphany, and typically between Christmas and January 6th, my understanding is that in parts of this country, there's a celebration called breaking up Christmas. And well, we're going to do Christmas time. We're going to talk about Christmas time. All right. I wrote this last year and recorded it for one of Magnolia Road's wonderful video showcases that happened the last couple of years. Here we go. I'm feeling fat as a sinner and happy as a pig in the mud. I got a cute little tree and a moose in a pot just like Elmer Fudd. Grandma sent a letter and I had to keep it cozy and warm. You know it's Christmas time at the Postcards Studio. There's a fire in the wood stove and it's burning hot. And the lamps are lit and the family singing songs and all that groovy stuff. So put on a record and turn down the lights. You know we're gonna wait up for Santa tonight. It's Christmas time at the Postcards Studio. You're gonna put out the cookies on a nice big plate. You know he'll be here, but it's gonna be late. So put on a record and turn down the lights. You know we're gonna wait up for Santa tonight. And Grandma sent a letter and a hat to keep me cozy and warm. You know it's Christmas time at the Postcards Studio. You know it's Christmas time at the Postcards Studio. You know it's Christmas time at the Postcards Studio. Whack body and don't wind it. All right, your very own Postcards Christmas song. Jenny Van West coming to you live from the Postcard Studio Annex, where we're hanging out with our bargain basement Christmas tree, Francine, with her crazy little lights on. She came off the bargain rack down at Broadway Gardens, and we've been talking thanks and encouragement. You know, y'all really came. A lot of my Facebook friends really stepped up to the plate for me this weekend. I really appreciate that. I think it's always a good time to reach out for help if you need to, and you know, holidays. Sometimes the light gets to me. Sometimes it's just. You know, this time it was just, you know, watching a door shut, and I just didn't like it, you know. But as we have been discussing, that people have been sharing with me, sometimes that's the thing. And I know that. I've said it to other people too. So anyway, I want to read a few more words of encouragement and give some thanks also for everybody who's been on the show. We had a lot of guests in the in the beginning of the year, and a few guests this fall. And I just want to say thank you all for being on the show, and all of y'all for being in the chat room. And thank you. I really appreciate that. Grateful to you as well. So let's see. So gratitudes, and encouragement. I want to read a few more words of encouragement here. And like I said, all of these comments have been incredibly helpful. And I'm really just going through this randomly and pulling out a few that I think maybe want to be read today. Okay. So here's a comment. Lovely comment. Oh, wow. You're amazing. So proud of what you're doing. Thank you. Appreciate that. Goes right to the heart. Last year, I really needed a better paying job. I interviewed at 30 plus companies. I recall melting down after 3 online interviews in the same day, so ready to give up. I shifted to deciding I was fine with my current job. I did love it, just not enough money. That energy shift allowed me to go easier into the next ones and soon get hired by wonderful people making more than I'd even hoped for. Well, there you go. There's another glowing example. Thank you, my friend. This is from, let's see. Jenny, I heard you perform some years back at Ken and Wendy Schweiger's. You're such a great talent. Good things will come to you. And I have to say, I'll never forget that house concert, because right before the show, Lisa Redfern pulled me into the laundry room and told me that Noel Paul Stuckey was in the audience of Peter, Paul, and Mary. And we were playing up in Blue Hill, and he was there and was the most amazing audience member. So shout out to Noel Paul Stuckey and to my friend here who wrote the comment. Thank you. Okay, a couple more comments of encouragement. So here's a great one from actually from someone I've known since I was in about I think 5th grade, 4th or 5th grade, somewhere in there. So maybe 6th grade. Your strength and commitment is incredible. Thank you, and you bring so much light to the world. It's so frustrating that there's not enough support, but it will come. Your passion for what you're doing is like a beacon that will ultimately draw the needed backing. Until then, thank you for reaching out like this. It takes strength, but it allows the rest of us to pour some love your way. Thank you so much, my old friend, for writing that. And then this is from another old friend from way, way back. We actually raised a calf together. Jenny, you're a gem, no matter where you wish to send your time, effort, and talents. Thank you so much. I say there will be setbacks in this lifetime, but sometimes it gives us our moment to ponder, reformulate, and then carry on. It's God's way of helping us deal with adversity. And yep, I think that's a really powerful perspective. So I'm gonna pause there and say thank you to everybody who's been writing in this week. I'm really enjoying your comments. I know other people are benefiting as well. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see who I have to say hello to. Who haven't I said hello to? Oh, Sasha Field. I think I just read a comment from you. Thank you. It's really nice to see you here. And yeah, and back at you. I'll tell you, you know, when we, like I said earlier, sometimes we have to let go to reach out, ask for help, and receive. And I am feeling triply blessed because I get to share it with you again. So let's see. It's time to talk about what's coming up this winter. And basically what I'm just going to tell you is that set your alarm for Monday, February 6th, 2023. We will start on or around there. If it's not going to be exactly on the 6th, you will know. I will tell you, as some of my longtime listeners know, sometimes I set my sights on a date and then and then the sloths come. And the sloths invade the studio. And y'all have been there with the sloths. So February 6th, though, is when I'm setting my sights on that. So let's try this one. I haven't played this in this particular. Oh, I know what I need to do. We need to have a song on Charlotte, the accordion, because she's always with us on Postcards. Welcome back, Charlotte. She had her first appearance in art for the Postcard show last week. Some of you tried to join last week. I got to tell you a funny story. Our internet was going in and out, and we were certainly not feeling the good vibes about the internet last week. We were having problems with the internet. I was like, what's going on? And I just have to tell you that we found the problem, and it was the dryer. And the electromagnetic interference from the dryer power supply was impacting our newly installed Wi-Fi boxes. So there you go. That's what happened last week. So folks, if your internet's not working, check the dryer. You never know. It could be the dryer. All right. So let's get a little something going with. So this morning I sat down. Yep. Hey, Charlotte. So during the pandemic, I got asked by Emily over at Magnolia Roads to record this song, and I made a little music video, and it's still one of my. I'm still really proud of that video. I think it came out really well, and it's an old Christmas classic. And I'm just going to sing you one verse, and right here in the key of G, right here on Postcards. Let me find my key. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round your virgin mother and child, holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child, holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. Ooh, coming to you live in the Postcards Studio. It's just a little something on the accordion to bring you into the right kind of mood of Jenny Van West. Coming to you live in the Postcards Studio. My clothing was getting stuck on the accordion, and I had a funny moment this morning when I went live, and I realized that I had gone live without my usual audio setup. And good morning, Maisha. How's it going? Let me know how things worked out with that thing we were talking about last fall. I hope your tooth is okay. Nice to see you here. And you know, I think sometimes all it takes is asking. Sometimes it's all in the asking. That was told to me a long time ago. And I'm going to take that one to heart too this day. I've been reading some comments that people have been leaving me the last couple of days because I thought it might be useful to you as well. And I just want to say thank you to everybody for joining me this morning. We're almost out of time. Happy Hanukkah. Merry Christmas from me and Francine, my bargain basement steal and deal of the week of this holiday season, right here from the bargain basement over at Broadway Gardens. Lovely little tree with their crazy little lights on. I'm just so happy to have spent this time with you. And I want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And we'll be coming back. You know, whatever holiday it is that you celebrate this time of year. Not everybody's a Christmas or a Hanukkah person, but that's what we do in our family. I just want to say Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. I hope that you find some joy, just as I've been doing with you guys. Thank you for listening, all the good stuff. Thank you for writing. Postcards, care of Jenny Van West Music, 224 Anderson Street, Portland, Maine, 04101. And let's go out with a postcard song. Let's go out with a postcard song. Lots of love to you guys. And happy everything blessed Yule, coming from our Judith down in Queens. All right, everybody. And we're going to say, turn off that crazy radio. But not till we're done with our song, Grandma. When you're down and you're blue and you don't know what to do, just reach out and ask for support. And just write a postcard. When you're feeling fine and there's something on your mind, just write a postcard. Don't you know Grandma loves this show? She listens every time from North Moldova. You don't need a reason. You don't need a rhyme to write a postcard to 224 Anderson Street. Just write a postcard to Portland, Maine. Just write a postcard 04101. 'Cause Grandma loves this show. Happy holidays and thank you. Mwah.